Fam, what's going on? It is Kyle Henderson, Bama football on YouTube. It is Thursday. It is October 23rd. Can I get a roll tide up inside the comment box? What's up, fam? I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for kicking it with me right here on Bama football on YouTube. Good morning, fam. How's everybody doing? I hope that you have had an enjoyable night's rest and you're getting ready for this beautiful Thursday. You know, we always get to this point in the week and it's like, man, I can't wait for the game. For this particular game, believe it or not, I have a lot of excitement. I cannot wait to see how this team fares on the road. I think sometimes we forget that, you know, on the road in the past has kind of been bumpy. But this year, it's been more promising, right? Winning games at Georgia, winning games at Missouri. I know I learned this last year quickly, that it's any given Saturday. And that's why I always preach about it. It doesn't matter what the point spread is. It doesn't matter who you're playing in the SEC. Road games in the SEC are dangerous. So this whole kind of theme has been like avoiding pitfalls, right? Maintaining the right psychological disposition going into this week. So I have a question for you as we start out the show. And good morning to everybody that's joined in. We'll do some AM shoutouts in just a minute. But let me ask you this, okay? So I need some help. As we look at Alabama football and we kind of, you know, with the microscope, what are some weak spots of this team? Because right now it's like, this is the best team. This team's on. Look, okay, let's slow down and let's look at what they have to fix, okay? So I was thinking about this. Quickly, three things that jumped out of my mind. And I need your help here as well. Lack of running game, right? They're ranked 103. But they're still winning, you know, time of possession, which is crazy. Field goal kicking, and I'll show you a graphic later on in the show about where things stand from 40 plus. Basically, it's like around 40%, okay? And then chunk yardage plays, right? You're still giving up chunk yardage plays to pretty much every team you play. Gage has right tackle, right? You know, and I thought about adding right tackle. And it's like I continue to go up and down with that position because, you know, I'll see Formby take a step forward. I'll see Michael Carroll hold it down. And then you kind of have a letback. So maybe consistency of the right side. But, man, they're playing a lot of different offensive linemen, right? Can you imagine how dangerous Alabama would be if they're able to really run the ball? I'm going to show you a stat regarding the running backs here in a little bit. We're going to go over some stats. Did you know that Caden Proctor, I promise you, Caden Proctor is averaging 5 yards per carry. That is more than everybody in the running back room other than A.K. Deere. A.K. Deere's just played in one game. But right now, Caden Proctor is averaging the most yards, which is like a mind-blowing stat, at 5 yards per. You put Proctor back there. You know, I don't know if there's anywhere else in the country, honestly. You would have to go to like ESPN for a stat like this. Is there anywhere else in the country, I'm not kidding you, where you have an offensive lineman, a starting offensive lineman that has ran the ball and also has another offensive lineman that has a reception? Because Parker Brailsford has a reception and Caden Proctor's ran, 3 times? I know he caught a pass, but it was behind the line of scrimmage, so I don't know. That would be interesting. Is like Syracuse have another lineman who's like thrown a pass? Weird stat. So is that it? I mean, is that just kind of a wrap where we're at? Is that all they need to fix? Seriously, think about it. And if you need more time, come back and put it inside the comment box. Maybe this will be kind of our homework thing. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, what else is there? What else makes me mad? I was like, actually, not a lot. And I would put road games. I would put kind of rat poison, outside noise. But they continue to address all that stuff with like the one game mentality, one game mindset, right? So I don't know. It doesn't seem like you know either inside the comment box, which I think those might be the areas. All right, let's see who's up in the house today. I appreciate you kicking it with me. Did anybody make the nightcap? The nightcap was fun. Nightcaps are a different style, right? They just have a different feel to them. Max Tooney, man, what's up? Good to see you. Bruce Williams, what's up, bro? Miss Kimberly, good morning to you. Andy G, what's up? Anita, Miss Anita, what's up? Thank you very much for kicking it with us. Ryan Paris, man. Did you change your avatar, Ryan? I think you might have. It looks good. The script tag goes hard. Hey, Jermaine King, what's up, man? Good to see you as well. Mindy Miss Careless. Hey, Tolbert Street, what's up, bro? Hope you're off to a good start, Tolbert. We got Andy coming in from Denver. So, Andy, is it true I read your post yesterday? Are you playing golf like every day? Or are you moving your tee times around? Yo, I might need to, next time I'm out in Colorado, we need to set up a tee time, bro. Let's go up to, what are the courses like up in Boulder? I bet you it'd be amazing, right? All right. Hey, Austin, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Yo, is that your newborn baby inside the comment box? What is this? Is this your baby? I could barely see it. It's on the screen. Are you a new father? Is this your nephew? Who we got here? Amanda Jane, what's up? She was here for the nightcap. CJ was here from the nightcap. CJ's coming to us from Weptonka. I think Amanda's from LA, right? We got Javion coming out of Pensacola. What's up, man? Emmanuel, good to see you as well. Hey, Shelly, good morning. Gage, what's up? Earl Dixon is saying, roll, Tide, roll. And Jay Noon, what's up, man? Get up in here, everybody. Appreciate y'all. All right, so if I didn't say what's up to you, know that I love you. I got love for you, all right? And if you got love for the YouTube channel, then think about becoming a fan funder. Hit that join button. There's different levels. Easy to sign up, easy to cancel. I really appreciate you guys' consideration. Super chats go hard as well. So if you're feeling super chatty on Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday, hit me up. All right, North Alabama Storm Chase with the weekend weather report. 66 for that tailgate. Absolutely beautiful in Columbia. You got a game time kick. 70 degrees in the fourth quarter. 68 degrees. Man, what a beautiful temp. Looks like that line's at 12 and a half. A rat poison line, right? You can see the AP top 25 kind of organized over here. I'll go full screen. You got Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Georgia Tech. You know, Georgia Tech is a team, probably go 11-0 before they face Georgia, right? The back end of the season. Ole Miss, Miami, Vanderbilt, BYU, and Notre Dame round out that top 12. All right, so I'm going to bring a couple stats to your attention. So I need eyes up. I need some feedback here, and I want to kind of bring some things to your attention. Does anything stand out from this particular graphic? Okay, so this is scores by quarter for Alabama, right? So Alabama, as you can see, outscoring opponents in the first quarter, 56-21. Okay, fast start maybe. Is there any quarter that you see something changing? I mean, they're clearly winning every single quarter, as you would expect a 6-1 team to do, but maybe that differential between the second quarter, right, 92-41, third quarter, you know, that might be kind of them airing out the game. In the fourth quarter, they can put points on. But I think what stands out to me is if you combine that first half stat, right? Let's just do the numbers. 56 plus 92, that's 148, right? And I mean, I think that tells us that Alabama's been able to get off to a fast start and kind of play exactly into the game plan, which goes again into controlling the clock, right? Clock management. And I think particularly when you look to this season, that is where you're seeing Alabama kind of win those first two rounds. As you always, you know, if you watch the watch along, I always grade the teams like who won quarter 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of like a boxing match. And Alabama's been able to do that with big first and second quarters, right? So that's kind of been the picture. Is there anything else that stands out? I mean, almost 100 points in the second quarter is pretty wild. And I think kind of limiting teams in the back end has also been kind of a method to the process, right? So getting up and then retaining that lead or making a couple adjustments. But we really haven't seen Alabama get into like a shootout this year. And I think if they do have the personnel to do that, but that's not where they want to go. They want to keep you, you know, kind of in that chokehold in that second half. Here's the rushing stats. And I know this has been a really hot topic. So I'll go full screen on this. What stands out here? Now, this is the official statistics from the University of Alabama regarding the football team through 7 games. I went ahead and just circled a couple different items that stand out to me. Clearly, I think, right here in yards gained, okay, you don't even have a running back through 7 games that has gone over 300 yards. Okay, I didn't even need to circle that. That just certainly stands out. You can see Ty right here with 165. He's really third in terms of gain, but quarterback sacks in college football take away that. So the net is only 66 over here, right? What I did was I kind of put Jam Miller 4 games, Riley 7, Daniel Hill 6. Okay, those are kind of like backs 1, 2, 3 right now. And what I did was I went over here to average on this other side, and I've just kind of circled only averaging 4 yards per carry, only averaging 3.9 for Riley, only averaging 3.8 for Daniel Hill. Now, you kind of, if you see A.K. Deere and you're like, he's averaging 12, give him the ball. He's only played in 2 games, and the majority of his carries and what he did was breakaway run against, Louisiana Monroe. So he really hasn't even had that many opportunities. So he can't really take a lot away from, his 7 carries. We just can't. And then I saw like Richard Young over here. He's had 19 carries, 48, 2.5, right? And that's kind of something like I see inside the comment box. It's like, where's Richard Young? Richard Young is kind of on the bottom of the depth chart right now. He's probably above A.K. Deere, but that's just the facts. And sometimes, the cream is going to rise to the top. Other running backs are going to surface up. But collectively, there's something going on here because these particular stats aren't it. This group as a whole, right, and that includes the offensive line as well, is ranked 103 in the nation. That's probably the lowest that Alabama's been ranked, rushing-wise in some time. We'd have to go back to the numbers. That's a hard stat to find out because I don't even know if you go to NCAA football, if you could find out where teams were ranked based off 7 games of play. But I think we know that this isn't right, okay? So how do you kind of change this? I don't know. And what's confusing to me is that the first 3 games in SEC play, you actually were able to run the ball a little bit more, right? Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri. It was kind of against Tennessee. Maybe it was just a 1-game thing against Tennessee in SEC play. Do things change against South Carolina? Does Alabama come out and go run heavy? It's interesting to think about. I did circle down here, which I think is hilarious. Caden Proctor. He's averaging, I know, it's only 3 carries, but I think it's still funny. He's averaging more than Dre, than Daniel Hill, than Kevin Riley, and Jam Miller. I get it. He's only had 3 carries, but it's still funny. That is 6'7", 360-pound, or however much he weighs, has, averaging 5 yards per carry. Maybe you just, give him the football. So I don't know. It's your guess is as good as mine. It's confusing. And it's also confusing that they're still controlling the game without a strong running game. You know what I'm saying? And it all goes down to Ty Simpson, I think, because he's moving the chains. They're very effective on third downs. Not elite, but they're good on third downs, which moves the chains. And then you get, 2 yards, 4 yards, and then a first down from Ty. And that's just how Alabama's offense has been able to move, right? Next slide. We have Alabama's wide receivers. Does anything stand out right here specifically? I think the one thing that I kind of circled over here was just the fact that Lazier Brooks is the clear wide receiver number 4. And that was one of the bigger question marks going into the season, right? Is we were all wondering which wide receiver would be wide receiver number 4. Would it be Jalen Hell? Would it be Rico? I think odds-on favorite was probably Rico Scott, right? People then thought maybe Jalen Hell. Some people thought Cole Adams. I think a small percentage was like maybe it could be Jalen Mbakwe since he's now a wide receiver. Lazier Brooks has been that guy. And this 3-star, and it's only doing Alabama more justice because this guy's a 3-star. So every time they recruit, they're like, look, we go off our own evaluations. I can't believe that Lazier Brooks was a 3-star. And actually, probably one of my top plays this year is when Ty Simpson was able to find Lazier Brooks to extend the play right on fourth down against Missouri there in that second half. A critical situation, and you have Ty going to Lazier Brooks. So he's clearly wide receiver number 4, and you have Jeremy Bernard up here with 33 for 472. I would imagine he's close to 1,000 yards this season, right? Kind of right on track. I mean, if Alabama plays even 14 games, he'll probably be close to it, right? Maybe he has a big game where he has like 150 or something like that. That will kind of elevate him. You could theoretically have 2,000-yard wide receivers. Could I get some help here inside the comment box for my statisticians? I think we should be able to look this up. When was the last time that Alabama had 2,000-yard receivers? What, do we have to go back to like 2018? I'm guessing 2019. Maybe it came, man, because Bryce threw for a ton of yards. Actually, if I had to like just think off the top of my head, I would probably say 21, right? Before Milroe. So I would say maybe 22, 21, or 20, 2,000-yard wide receivers. Could somebody look that up? I think that's probably the case. You're probably on track for that to be right here. Isaiah Horton doesn't get a lot of opportunities, but he's still clutch. I mean, look, he has 22, right? 272. It's not a huge volume for 7 games, but he does have 5 touchdowns. And that's kind of one of the things that I did predict in the preseason is that Isaiah Horton would come up in the red zone. And I kind of point back. I knew it would be 21. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because Bryce, shoot, I think he threw for close to 5,000 yards, which is insane. So his first year, right, which had been his sophomore year. Yeah, I think he threw for like close to 5,000. It was ridiculous. Bryce Young, like, we don't talk a lot about him. And I know I'm always like hyping up Mac Jones, probably because I'm like a 49ers fan or whatever. But plus that 2020 team was nasty. But Bryce Young, what he did in 2 years was crazy work. I mean, that guy threw for yards on yards. Wild. So anyways, kind of setting up for a 2,000-yard wide receiver setup right here. And then Isaiah Horton, I think, will play a pivotal role. You imagine if he even has like 40 catches and 10 touchdowns? He could catch 10 touchdowns this year. Easily. Hey, Rashawn, thank you so much for becoming a fan funder. I really appreciate it. Jarvis in with the stat. Says 4,872 yards for Bryce in 2021. Damn. That is some yardage. Oh my, and 47 touchdowns? Oh man. That's nasty work. That's Bryce. I mean, it's the first dude picked in the draft. And you know what? He's getting better and better in the NFL. It's just he went to the Panthers. You know, you play for the Panthers. See how you do. They're finally getting him a couple weapons, but man, playing for the Panthers is rough. I like this stat right here. This is how all of Alabama's players fare in terms of total yardage, right? So Jeremy Bernard has 543 total yards this season. As you can see, he has 71 rushing yards, right? And he has 472 receiving yards. Ryan Williams, I think his 16 rushing yards came in this last game against Tennessee, right? On that reverse. And he has 423 yards. And he's only played in 6 games. Remember, he missed that second game of the season or whatever. Lazier Brooks is third, actually, because you add up his kick return yards. So Lazier Brooks could be close to maybe 800 yards, maybe like estimating this year, which is pretty impressive for a freshman. Maybe he breaks one. I could certainly see him ripping off a kick return for a touchdown. I mean, it seems like that could certainly happen. At some point, he just looks dangerous back there. So that's pretty impressive for a freshman. Jam has 282 in 57, which is interesting. Let's do the math right here on Jam. So if we average out 339 divided by 4, he's averaging 84 yards per game times, let's see, Alabama plays 15 games. That's 1,200 yards, right, for a season. And he catches the football so well. They don't use him on, deep yardage passes, but kind of, small stuff out of the backfield. He still has 57 yards and some critical catches. Kevin Riley, how about, Kevin Riley, this is a nice season right here. 181 and 139 in terms of rushing and receiving. So that's a lot of yards. Where is he? 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, Kevin Riley's like top 6 in receiving. That's pretty impressive for somebody that we weren't even really talking about coming into this season. So Kevin Riley, once again, 320 yards right behind Jam Miller. And then you have Isaiah Horton, Josh Cuevas, who I think has done a good job. And then you have Cole Adams, Mr. kind of reliable right there. I guess if anything is, rather interesting on this chart is that Rico Scott down here with only 75 yards this season. Wouldn't you say that's kind of surprising through the first 7 games of the season is that Rico Scott only has 75 yards? I don't even think Jalen Hell has a catch. Jalen Mbakwe is way down on the list with like 16 total yards. Those are some things that probably stand out to me. I mean, A.K. Deere has played in 2 games. He has 85 yards. He probably have somebody lightning in a bottle just sitting on the bench kind of in the development phase. Hey, Aaron, appreciate the super chat. Let's see what she has to say. I know they say stats are for nerds, but there is a comparison going around Sheridan's offense production versus Grubb's production, and they are similar. Any thoughts? I haven't seen that, Aaron. I'll look into that to kind of, compare. I think where you see, and I just had a small video go up this morning, I think where we really seen kind of the offense take a major step forward just from last year to this year is the quarterback play, right? And I'm not trying to start like a war between Milroe and Simpson. That's fact. The way that this guy has been able to operate the offense, whoever's offense it is, has been amazing. 18 touchdowns and 1 interception is tops in the nation, right? So, how he's able to do that, I think has been very proficient, efficient for Alabama's offense. And then I think, with Grubb, it felt like there was sometimes where with Sheridan running the offense, rather, it felt like sometimes he kind of lacked some rhythm. And at times it felt like things were just kind of too far over his head, where I think as Grubb has more confidence just because he might be older. He's done this for a longer time. The gadget plays are something that are just wild to think about because this guy runs at least 3 gadget plays a game. I've seen like coaches run like 3 gadget plays a year. There's going to be some sort of gadget play against South Carolina. We don't know what it is. I've never seen a coach. I didn't even know that was part of his like deal. So I'll look into it. That's interesting. Now I appreciate the super chat, of course. Thank you so much. Here's the defensive stats overall through 7 games. And you have Justin Jefferson. Interesting. You have the 2 inside linebackers, right? We want that. Those guys up at the top. And I have to say, Deontay Lawson, I thought he was maybe playing like 60% at the beginning of the year. He is playing better. Now, he did get put on skates by Bishop. Everybody got put on skates by that Tennessee running back on that long run. But he has 40 tackles overall here up at the top. Justin Jefferson has 46. I have to admit, Justin Jefferson, aren't you glad he came back? Right? Because if he didn't get like the Diego Pavia waiver rule for extra year for junior college, he'd be gone. And then you have Deontay Lawson and Nakahil Green, which he's up here too in terms of tackles. I don't know. There's just something about Jefferson. He plays at a very high level. I think he's undersized, but he plays fast. He seems to be everywhere. I mean, look at his stats. He has 46 total. He's got a tackle for loss. He's got a sack. He's got an interception, 2 pass breakups, 2 hurries, right? Justin Jefferson's a pretty good football player. And I don't think he gets really the credit that he deserves. He's overshadowed by other guys on the defense. But you take Justin Jefferson away, the wolf position is different because you take away Quay, you had Yonze, right? And you have John Latham. You take away those guys, Noah Carter, Justin Hill. I don't know if you can say that about the linebackers because you take away Justin Jefferson, you go then to Deontay Lawson and Nakahil Green, 2 kind of bigger inside linebackers. Neither one of those guys is kind of like quick as a cat. And then behind them, you have a lot of young guys who haven't played at all. Luke Metz, Darrell Duke Johnson, Abdul Sanders, Caden Jones, he got hurt. Quentin Reese is, he's not a speed type linebacker. So, be happy that Justin Jefferson came back. I think you take him out, the defense might take kind of a step back. And he is I get it. He is undersized, but he's pretty good. He's pretty good. All right, you also have Bray Hubbard up here. He has 3 interceptions, right? He's 2 were, I think, in one particular game. I circled over here LT Overton and Yanzi Pierre. Now, Yanzi Pierre has played in 7 games, and he's been a menace. I mean, look at this. He has 24 total tackles, almost 7 tackles for a loss, and 4 of those are sacks. And he's not even a starter. I mean, he is now, but pretty impressive. And then LT Overton, he's another guy. You take him out, and I guess you put in Keon Keeley, who's been doing pretty well, but LT Overton is another guy that we got to have to be thankful for that he's healthy. He has 5 tackles for loss. He has 3 sacks. Combine those 2, and that's what we want for Alabama's defense. These guys have a total of 7 sacks, right? No one else on the board really compares, to be honest. We have a super chat in from Who's the Master? What's up, man? Appreciate it. It says JJ played like a mad dog against Vanderbilt. I'm telling you, man, he's everywhere. He's fast, right? Fast dude. So that's kind of defense. Is there anything that stands out on defense? I appreciate the super chat again. I will say this. This guy down here, number 90 over here, can you see the cursor? This guy's good. This guy's really good. He's a freshman. London Simmons, I like to mention him a bunch, number 90. I thought he's a lot better than I thought he was going to be. As you could see, if you look at the gray line, 8 solos, right? 11 total. He's got a tackle for loss. He's got a quarterback sack. He's got 2 quarterback hurries, right? Oh, shoot, look at this. LT Overton has 6 quarterback hurries as well. Yeah, LT's a menace. And this London Simmons, who plays defensive tackle, very, very, very talented. I guess here at the bottom, you could look at Keon Keeley. He's played in 5 games, and, not a lot of stats, but I think if I was to poll everybody right now inside the comment box, everybody would be like, yo, Keon Keeley is impressive. 100%. I think he's getting there. He's almost there. Has he, truly arrived? Had his, arrival game? Maybe not yet, but it'll come. Keon Keeley and Yanzi Pierre, those guys playing more makes Alabama's defense better. And again, it's kind of like a depth thing, so can't wait to see it. Love those guys. All right, this graphic is a little scary, okay? So viewer discretion is advised. Now, this is Alabama's kicker, Connor Talty, right? 9 of 13, which is 69%. And I circled the 2 items kind of on the far right, which are kicks from 40 to 49 and 50. Now, in this particular area, this is where he's kind of on the struggle bus. And I think if Alabama is in a tight game, and look, they've been in this situation before. He's missed kicks against Georgia, right? Missed a kick against Florida State. Missed a kick against, who else was it against? There was someone else where he missed these longer kicks. We need to tighten up in that area. Down the stretch, you're going to play an opponent at some time this year. You're going to play somebody with a strong heartbeat, a team that maybe takes Alabama down to the wire, and you have to have this kind of area buttoned out because there's an area that'll take away momentum that's missing a field goal. It's just like a throwing an interception, right? And this number, I think right here, 3 of 7 from 40 is concerning. So, anything underneath that, he's been pretty automatic, and they've given him opportunities. But I think that is a concerning number. And I think we all know that even Coach Kalen DeBoer was like, look, that's an area that's in improvement or development or whatever. He kind of struggled in the preseason, and that's kind of carried over into this season. Let me ask you this, straight up. What's your confidence level in Connor Talty on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Is it a 7 with 70%? Is it a 6? I mean, I think maybe you ask me, you're like, hey, what is it? I'm like 6.5, kind of right around the percentage of where he's at. There's been games where he came in and, I think he was automatic. But again, that wasn't from 40 plus. Justin T says 3 in terms of confidence level. Jarvis says 6. Daniel Tipton says inside the 40, he's like 9 to 10. Yeah, for sure. So keep him kind of under that frame. We're good to go. But as you could see inside the comment box, it seems like a little less confidence. Lisa in with the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. And thanks for the support right here on the channel. Yeah, 20. Love the stats. Me too. I think the numbers tell a lot, and I think sometimes we can get caught up in opinion and saying, kind of our thoughts, but I think stats really show us kind of the nitty-gritty, right? Dano is saying Colorado School of Miners. That's the punter, right? Blake Dowd. I don't have his stats on board. I will say this, though. Blake Dowd, he has some good punts, and then some of the punts are a little questionable. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what his, like, off the top of my head, I don't know what his average is. I think it's like 43. But some of the punts have been a little bit questionable, and the punts haven't been the best as of late. But Blake Dowd, you escaped this graphic because we don't have the numbers on you right now. Miss Kimberly says 5 in terms of confidence. Bama fan says 4. Nah, that's just it, right? I think that's kind of a weak spot of this team. But, you know, Saban, but before Will Reichard, okay? Patriot Life, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Let me ask you this. What was life like? I was here briefly. You know, that was kind of Will Reichard. He came in when I was already covering the team. But the kickers that I saw were Joseph Bolivis, Andy Papanastas, Adam Griffith, right? Those were kind of some of the kickers that I saw when I first showed up here. But I think life before that, even with these elite teams, right? What was it like at the kicker situation? From what I understand, Alabama had these ridiculous teams, but the kicking game was always kind of mid. And isn't that ironic that we kind of find ourselves in that situation? It's like this team is on the verge of being really good, but the kicking game is kind of mid. It's just, yeah. So I think Lee Tiffin was one of the GOATs, right? He's kind of like up there. So is Will Reichard. But before that, I think there was a bunch of kickers that were kind of not very good. But I think Will is the GOAT, and then the Tiffins thereafter. And then after that, I have no idea. So anyways, that's where we're at from a kicker standpoint. The Black Hoodie will now be traveling to Columbia, South Carolina. This Black Hoodie has become like a thing, right? And when he puts it on, it seems like he even gets more confidence. You know, DeBoer fierce. Who knows? And this kind of hoodie has a personality of its own. Wisconsin, they got sliced up 38-14. Georgia, 24-21. Vanderbilt, 30-14. Missouri head football coach Eli Drinkwitz was like, hey, I wear a hoodie too. Let's see which hoodie has more power. Clearly, it was the Black Hoodie, 24-24. You know, that score is a little bit deceptive now that I look at it, right? Like the Georgia game was close for sure. But that Missouri game, Missouri got a touchdown, right? It should have been, 27-17, maybe? Anyways, Tennessee, 37-20. That was another Black Hoodie game. And now we continue to ride this Black Hoodie the rest of the way. So Black Hoodie is safely traveling to Columbia. I would imagine that there's more. Can you imagine who's in charge of the Black Hoodie? You know, the Alabama equipment room. They have its own like Twitter X account. You should follow it. The stuff behind the scenes. Has anybody ever worked like in college, worked on the equipment basis with like the football team? Talk about stress. They have to make sure that all the players have like their gloves, their shirts. They pack for the coaches, and they just have all the stuff ready for Coach Kalen DeBoer. So Kalen DeBoer just, wears his suit, and he goes in, and then he has, black hoodies and whatever else he wears underneath that. Imagine the black hoodies. They're like, hey, the Black Hoodie didn't make it. We need somebody to drive, at 4 a.m. to Columbia with the Black Hoodie. Imagine how stressful that is. Where's the Black Hoodie, and how many does he have? I'd be stressed out. Think about it. There's somebody here in Tuscaloosa right now, I promise you, probably making $150,000 a year that is just responsible for the Black Hoodie, right? It's a big job. All right, I love these two quotes. This tells you so much about this squad right now, okay? And the first is on the left. I'm sure you've seen this. But Ty Simpson was recently quoted by saying this: prepare like you've never won. Perform like you've never lost. How these guys come up with these quotes? They're deep inside of like books about philosophy, or, somebody gave them some book on leadership, but this is one hell of a quote. If he came up with, his dad is a coach, so you could only imagine how, coach talk at home, right? But prepare like you've never won and perform like you've never lost. And that is like blocking out the noise, the rat poison. That's why he's been able to do what he's been able to do, right? And then on the other side, it pairs just perfectly with kind of a spillover for Coach Kalen DeBoer. The next one is the most important. 100%. The last one is already in the books. And this next one against South Carolina, there's a ton at stake. If Alabama loses this game, oh my God, I'm serious. It would be terrible. Worst case scenario, to lose to unranked South Carolina. They will be penalized like you've never seen. And then after that, we're like, does he wear the black hoodie anymore? This black hoodie can't, look, you got to ride this black hoodie to the end. 100%. But I love these quotes, and I love to see it. And that's kind of like the spillover from the personality of these two, but the rest of the team this season. Man, that coffee's good. You guys have your coffee today? Tasty. Like, absolutely just tasty. Coach Kalen DeBoer also quoted recently by saying, we're not done with the stretch. We're still in the stretch. 100%. 100%. Look, the way that I looked at the Alabama football schedule, and I'll bring it up right now, this was the stretch. And I was wondering, like, at the beginning of the season, what would their record be, right? Like, kind of during this stretch. To my surprise, to be honest, I thought that Alabama might lose a game during this stretch. I bet you if you went back and watched some of my past videos, let's try to get this little ad out. Oh, no. I bet you if you went back and looked at some of my past videos, I probably would have said that Alabama loses a game within this window. I thought they would, because this was the real meat of this stretch, right? But they went to Georgia, they took care of business. Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee. And in the preseason, South Carolina was ranked, right? South Carolina, I think, was ranked in the top 15 in the preseason. I know things haven't really gone their way, but I was like, man, look at that stretch. If they can go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-1 in that stretch or something like that, that's amazing. They've gone 4-0 so far. And that still is a stretch. And then I think you have a different stretch coming up after that open week. So you have an open week next week, which comes at a perfect time. Because right now, Alabama's pretty healthy, right? Even on the student injury availability report, nobody new was added. So this is the healthiest that Alabama has been. You hopefully stay healthy against South Carolina, take care of business, and then I would imagine he gives his team off like he did last bye week, like 4 days consecutively. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You practice again on Thursday as you start to prep, that you have pretty much a week to prep for LSU. And you still have LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and Auburn. So this is kind of that back-end stretch, which is also kind of a, standalone back-end season by itself. A lot on the line in all of these games. So LSU, Oklahoma, Auburn still away. Man, this season has been exciting, right? Next week, get a bye. 2 bye weeks is wild in college football, but that's cool. And then that back end is not easy. This is not easy. Do you guys think this is easy, this backstretch? I think some people see like Eastern Illinois and maybe Auburn, and you're like, oh, that's easy. Just kick off your shoes. Yeah, the Eastern Illinois, of course. Everybody knows that. Come on. But the rest of these games are hard. 2 of them are rivalry games, and one of them beat you last year. So thank goodness that 2 out of, or that 3 out of the 4 at home, and that scary one at the barn. Anyways, as I kind of turn the page to the next topic I wanted to ask you guys about, and I'd like some help in, coming up here in a few minutes, ranking the SEC. You see Alabama right here is now on top. Now, this is taken from the official SEC graphic window. The reason I think that Alabama is first on this graphic is because it was sorted by wins against the SEC and then put alphabetically. Because, clearly Texas A&M has a better record overall. They even have more points for and least points against. But I think it was just, sorted off of those 2 factors. Just so you're like, what is this? And then after that, you have a ton of teams that have only lost 1 game in conference play, right? Georgia, Ole Miss, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Vanderbilt, and then you kind of have the rest. And you have Kentucky. Wow, Kentucky's 0-4 and 2-4 on the season. Wild. Auburn, Mississippi. Well, there's 4 teams that have yet to win a game in SEC play. Interesting. The SEC's tough. 100%. And think about it. Like, you see where Mississippi State is down here, right? We're way down here at the bottom. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Mississippi State beat Arizona State this year? Let's see. Mississippi State versus ASU football. I just want to make sure I was clear on that. Yeah, they beat them 24-20. Okay? So Mississippi State beat Arizona 24-20. Okay, remember that. Now let's go to the Big Ten, just because I want to prove a point. Okay? Do you see where the teams are in the Big 12? Okay. Arizona State is right here. Does that mean Mississippi State would be like fourth? I'm like 100%. Does that mean that Mississippi State would be like in the top 3 in the Big 12? Because if they are, then Mississippi State should bounce out right now and join the Big 12. Honestly, I'm not even kidding you. If Mississippi State was in the Big 12, I think they'd probably be in the top 5. I'm just kind of building the case for the SEC like I always do, right? Uncle Charles, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Coming to us from Birmingham, Alabama. Okay, here's on slate for the SEC, and then I'm going to have you help me rank the SEC real quick, okay? So the slate is pretty good, so I need your help. Who wins, Ole Miss or Oklahoma? Ole Miss or Oklahoma? All right, I'm going to give you guys a poll inside the comment box right now. Who wins, Ole Miss or Oklahoma? All right, O or O, right? All right, so go ahead and vote inside the poll. See what I did there in the poll? I'm just kidding. Vote. Just tell me who you think is going to win inside the comment box. Type O for who you think is going to win. I think you guys are voting for Ole Miss, right? Silly poll. I mean, I think we want to say, I don't know. Jarvis, what's the line on this game? Ole Miss, Oklahoma. I think I asked this yesterday, and you might have been Jarvis going lane train. I think everybody's going, trick question. Yeah, vote. So far, 81% of you believe that O is going to win in the poll. I think the first O is Ole Miss. I don't know. That's a great game. We'll be able to watch that game perfectly, kind of going into our game too. So it'll work out very nicely. Next, you have Arkansas hosting Auburn. Does Auburn get its first win in that game? I think so, but Arkansas has been playing pretty good lately. By the way, Oklahoma -5 against Ole Miss. Ooh, man, that is a great game. Okay, if Oklahoma wins that game, that's going to set up one hell of a game in a couple weeks between Alabama and Oklahoma. Either way, it's a good game. I'm just saying, because Oklahoma then probably jumps back into the top 10. Honest saying none of the above. All right, we also have Missouri and Vanderbilt. I think we all voted on this game, and I think we all feel that Vanderbilt beats Missouri. Vanderbilt only one loss, right, in the SEC, and then Texas taking on Mississippi State. Man, you imagine Mississippi State somehow able to beat Texas? I don't think they will. Okay, this one for real. All right, we'll vote. We'll end this silly poll right here, and we'll do a real poll on this one. And I think you guys are going to vote Texas A&M. Who wins? I just want to see how close it is versus LSU. All right, so A&M, LSU. You know, fam, I think I'm going to go. I just added a new poll. Texas A&M or LSU. I think I'm going to go LSU on this one. You know, for me, I want to see this Texas A&M game. I'm gonna be watching this game, and I want to understand like what they're bringing to the table, how good this team is in a challenging environment. I mean, they haven't played. This is their first ranked top 25 team from the SEC, right? So far, 56% believe A&M is going to win this game. Army 3275 says LSU wins. A&M isn't what people think. I agree with you, bro. Yeah. Taylor Roberts, what's up, bro? In Death Valley at night, right? That's all I'm saying. And the line is A&M 2.5. Now I will say this: I think Elko, this guy's a good coach. He's in his second year too, right? Now I know Coach Kalen DeBoer probably up for some postseason Coach of the Year awards or whatever, but Mike Elko too. This is Mike Elko's second year. All right, 7-0. Their quarterback is pretty dangerous. His numbers are good. People don't talk about Marcel Reed a lot. Those are some good quarterbacks in that game for sure. And then you have Tennessee taking on Kentucky there at the back end. And that's like SEC after dark. Okay, so this graphic right here is kind of adjustable, all right? So I think I could do this on the fly. So let's do this together. We're going to try to rank these teams, okay, the best that we can in the SEC, all right? So let me see how this is going to work. And we are off to a bad start with that. So let me go here, go all the way to the top. So let me ask you, what is the best team after Alabama in the SEC, all right? And I should be able to move this graphic around. I played with this morning. I think we should be able to do this. Okay, so tell me, and go ahead and vote. I know it kind of looks strange up here on the side, but who is number 2 in the SEC? Because I would imagine you all say that Alabama is number 1, okay? Can we all agree that Alabama is probably number 1 in the SEC right now? I mean, not throwing rat poison. It is what it is. Okay, so we're saying Georgia. So we're gonna move down A&M, and we'll go Alabama. So we'll go Alabama and Georgia. Is Georgia the number 2 team? Okay. Is it Georgia? So a lot of people saying Georgia A&M. All right, let's do. Okay, it looks like Georgia. All right. Okay, so now we have A&M and then Ole Miss. Is there another team that might be better than them? Let me ask you like this. What about Vanderbilt? So now you have these teams right here. We're A&M, Ole Miss, Missouri, Oklahoma, Vanderbilt. Is anybody voting Vanderbilt as the third best team? Or is it A&M? Is it Ole Miss, Missouri? I think Missouri and Oklahoma kind of out of that conversation. Do we have does anybody have Vandy at 3? Is it safe to put Vandy at 3? Or should we keep A&M there? Man, that's kind of a tough one. It's stacked, right? I think I might. I mean, let's just see how it looks like this. What if we put Vandy right there, move Oklahoma, because we can't put them over Texas, can we? Oh man, that's tough. Because Oklahoma lost to Texas. Let's just start right here. Vandy at 5. Vandy's 3, Rex is saying. I think Vanderbilt beats Missouri. Man, this is tough. I think we do this. We probably go, just for the time being. Oh, God. Is it like this? I think we go Alabama, Georgia, A&M, Vandy, Ole Miss. And then, I want to put Oklahoma there. But Oklahoma, they lost to Texas. So, is it really like this? This might be what it looks like, fam. Right? And then I think Tennessee probably above LSU. It's hard to do, right? So I got Alabama, Georgia, A&M, Vandy, Ole Miss, Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Tennessee, LSU. That doesn't look bad. And I agree. I'm not sold on A&M either. In fact, I kind of feel like putting Vandy over these guys, putting it like this, right? I don't want to lose A&M. And the 44 is just like, just leave it alone. and I think what I'm getting at is 5 teams from this conference, I think, will get into the playoffs, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That kind of leaves Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Tennessee, LSU out. This looks realistic, right? Alabama, Georgia, top 2. Vanderbilt, A&M, Ole Miss. Maybe those teams are a little bit interchangeable, and then kind of the rest of the pack, right? Is that – and who knows between Tennessee and LSU, but I kind of think that that's how it looks, right? How is Vandy over Ole Miss? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I think because, people, have seen Vanderbilt play. You could theoretically go like this. How about this? This might look maybe a little better, right? Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, A&M, Vanderbilt. This looks actually a little bit better. And then kind of it depends on A&M and Vanderbilt. I think those two teams are kind of changeable, right? And those are your playoff teams to get in. This looks better. And maybe Vanderbilt over A&M. And you know what? Vanderbilt and Texas play here in a couple weeks. So, and Georgia already beat Ole Miss. Let's see who else played. Texas beat Oklahoma. Missouri only has 1 loss. Tennessee has 2 losses, but it's to Alabama and Georgia. It's just crazy to see kind of the SEC, right? It's fun to look at. Okay, last poll. Let me do this, okay? Let's figure this out once and for all. Let's do so I have a poll coming for you. Vandy, Ole Miss. And you know what? I'll put A&M in there too. Best team. We'll go to the poll. All right, so vote right here in the poll, right? Right, Jamal says this is how it probably looks. Okay, so vote right here for our 2, 3, our 3, 4, and 5 team in the SEC. Who's the better team? That's the team that we'll put third. So far we have Ole Miss at 46%, then Vandy, then A&M. Okay. So now I think this is how we got it right here. This is how it looks. Our RLS says Vandy is not beating Texas. I can't wait to see that game, bro. I think the game I think it might be in Vegas, right? Okay, so you guys have voted, and there's been 34 votes so far. There's close to 40. And you all have Ole Miss as the third best team, followed by Vandy and then A&M. So you know what? This game right here between Vanderbilt and Texas, should these teams, kind of take care of business, this might be a playoff play-in game, right? Wait, whose birthday is it? Is it King's family's birthday? King's family, whose birthday is it? Yeah, who knows? It's fun to do, right? Oh, it's in Austin? Oh, shoot. Oh, man, the game's in. So Vanderbilt and Texas is in Texas? Ugh. Oh, man. All right, 44. What's up, dog? Let me ask you this, Kyle. Who is the worst team in the SEC? Oh, man. I mean, is it Kentucky? I mean, they just took Texas into overtime, right? Oh, man. I guess Kentucky, right? Is that the right answer? Oh, King's family says your son Caleb, it's his birthday, 16th birthday. All right, I'll give him a birthday shout out. All right. Hey, Caleb, what's up? Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I hope that you have an amazing birthday. I know your father is really proud of you. And as you continue to navigate what I would imagine is your sophomore year of high school, stay where your feet are at, make good decisions, make good grades. Remember to spend time with your family and know that at the end of the day, your family is, the most important thing. And I say that is because I have a teenager as well. And I think in even being a teenager myself, sometimes you get swept up in just kind of, the friends and stuff like that, which is great. And that's a huge part of your life. But, be there for your family and kind of be where your feet are at with mom and dad. And, if your grandparents still around, call them up and tell them that you love them. So happy birthday, Caleb. And I hope you have a great day, man. Roll Tide to you 100%. All right. Let's see. So that's kind of where we're at. The SEC is hard. Can you imagine what the people at the College Football Playoff Committee do? That must be really tough. All right, as you know, fam, we got one more thing to run through, and we're going to talk about our sleeper picks real quick for this week. So yesterday we did quarterback, right? Will Ty Simpson throw for over this amount of yards? I think it was 263. Now today I bring it's 263 for Ty. And we all said that he would throw for more. And then the easiest one that we had on the board was Lenore Sellers throwing for less. There is no way this guy is going to throw for more than 171 on Saturday. No way. This one's hard. This one is not so hard, okay? But how about this one? Jam Miller, more or less 50 yards rushing on Saturday. More or less rushing on Saturday. As you know, this video is powered by Sleeper. If you get a $100 deposit, match up to $100, and the promo code for that is tailgate, okay? So it's tailgate. You get $20 just by downloading the app. More or less for 58 rushing yards for Jam Miller. Oh, man. I'm going to say, let's see, Bama fans saying more, Jarvis saying more. It's tight. Sam saying less. I will say more. I'll go more. I think we got more. I think he kind of, has a better game than last game. I'll say that. So let's go more on Jam Miller. How about Lenora Sellers? 19 yards, more or less. Now, remember when you're doing the quarterback picks, if these guys get sacked, it goes against their rushing yards. It's not the same in the NFL. So 19 yards, maybe a sack or two. This will be close. I'd probably stay away from this one. I don't know. That's a hard one. In the last one here, we have Ryan Williams. More or less 58 yards against South Carolina. More or less 58. I'll take more for Ryan Williams. I always go more for Ryan. You never know. One catch and it could be 60 yards, right? So he's playing. He's good. He's healthy. Big game last week. I'll take more. Nick Harbor. This guy is a monster, all right? 6'5", 220, 30 yards. I'd probably say more for Nick Harbor. So those might be our easy picks is Ty, Jam, Ryan, and throw in Nick Harbor, and there's your kind of parlay. Javion asked, where would I have K-Law ranked in this wide receiver unit? Man, K-Law, I liked him. I'm not going to lie. I thought that K-Law would be who Journey Bernard is, but he wasn't. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. Some guys are better than the others. Journey Bernard is a better wide receiver than Kendrick Law. I thought Kendrick Law had kind of the physical physique that you could do some things that they do with Jeremy. Because, man, let's face it, that guy looked like Deebo Samuel, but Journey Bernard plays like Deebo Samuel. There's a difference between looking and being the actual guy. So I thought he was going to be a guy here. He goes, I don't even know what he's doing at Kentucky. I hope he's doing well. But they are utilizing Journey Bernard how I thought they would utilize Kendrick Law, and it's working out. So you stay the course, and that's where we're at. But I don't know if Kendrick Law was here or Kobe Prentice or, Emmanuel Henderson, if any of those guys would get on the field, because right now 1, 2, 3, and 4 pretty much locked here in terms of, the wide receivers. No one's going to jump Lazier. No one's going to jump Ryan Williams. No one's going to jump Isaiah Horton. No one's going to jump Journey Bernard, any of the guys that left. That's just it. Right? So I think that Kendrick Law is, he looked like it, but Journey Bernard is it. So that's kind of the show today, fam. I appreciate you guys kicking it with me today on Bama Football on YouTube. As you turn the page to South Carolina, this is clearly it's rat poison everywhere you look because 3-4, 1-4 in SEC play. They're ranked 127th in total offense, ranked 102nd in pass defense, 120 in rush offense, ranked 41 in total defense, and ranked 113 in scoring offense. We will go over the score predictions tomorrow. I think I said a score last night on my nightcap. I think that I would have probably imagined my score is going to be floating around like 38 for Bama and maybe 13-10 for South Carolina. I'm adding on to the rat poison. Probably my final score would probably be somewhere around like 38-10 or something like that. I'll take Bama big tomorrow. I think they go into Columbia, they handle business. I don't think Alabama will beat. I don't think Alabama will score like 60 or anything like that. But I think they'll once again be able to dominate the game, control the game. And South Carolina, they just don't have a lot of offense. So unless Lenore Sellers is playing absolutely through his mind, I think Alabama will be able to handle them pretty well on Saturday. But, score prediction tomorrow. And then, of course, news as it happens, constant videos. You can also check us out on our Facebook page. And I hope you guys had a good show today. It was fun. I think one of the funnest parts today was trying to rank the SEC. I think we got it pretty well. I'll go back to that graphic one more time because I kind of left feeling like we had let's see if I can get back to that slide. I felt like we nailed it, right? Bama, like right now, Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, or Vanderbilt kind of being interchangeable. It kind of shows you those last 3 spots, even 4 going to Oklahoma or to Missouri. Shoot, that's kind of those teams right now. That we're in rat poison mode right now. Okay, we've won all the games and all that stuff. We're in rat poison mode. But like this team fighting for this team fighting for playoff, this team fighting for playoff, this team fighting for playoff, this team fighting for playoffs. I think Tennessee, being that they lost twice in SEC play, they're out. Same thing with LSU. But Oklahoma, they just lost. What was they're 6-1 overall. They're still very well alive. So a lot on the table. That was fun. I enjoyed it. So I'll catch you as news happens. Remember, hit the thumbs up on these videos. The nightcaps usually been running like Monday night and Wednesday night. And, just keep your head on the swivel because sometimes I'll pop up and kind of sneak up a show on you. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys had a really good show. And you know what time it is. It's time for the outro. All right. We do the outro right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I love the outro. All right. Thanks for watching, fam. I love y'all. It is October 23rd. Bama Football on YouTube live every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Time right here on Bama Football on YouTube or as major news happens. Watch for those nightcaps. Be where your feet are at. And thank you so much for kicking it with me right here on Bama.